Hey guys, this is JJ with Express Workshops. This week we will create a custom brush and use it to retouch a photo inside of Photoshop. Okay, let's get started on creating a custom brush inside of Photoshop. There's actually just a few steps that you have to take to create the brush, define it, and then also select it and use it. So I'll walk you through how to do that. The first thing you want to do is just get a blank page like I have here, and then I want to make a certain pattern, and I'll show you later in the video here how I use this particular type of thing. And I'm just using my brush tool, and I actually have the brush set on shape dynamics here. Let me pull this over so you can see it. And I've got my shape dynamics set for pin pressure because I am using a pin here. All right, let me move that back out of the way and go back to my layer. And I'm just drawing on the background layer, and I'm going to go ahead and just define the brush. So I'm just going to make a little pattern here, and this is going to be something that I use a lot. I'll show you as we go along here. I get kind of lost whenever I start drawing something on here. Okay, so that's a good enough texture that I have here. Then you have to select it. So I'm going to go and use my rectangular marquee tool, and I'm just going to select that area pretty tight. All right. Then you want to go to Edit, and then down to Define Brush Preset. And you can name this anything you'd like. I'm going to call it Grass because that's what I'm going to use it for. And then I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and deselect this, and then when I use my brush tool, I'm going to go ahead and push B on my keyboard. And then when I go into my presets, I can see down here at the bottom, there is my grass brush that I created. Okay, so to use it, all I have to do is just dab that on, and I'm getting that texture that I created. So pretty easy. Now, let me show you a practical use for this. Now, this is a family that I shot couple falls ago, and as you can see down here on the bottom that there is a little blanket there. Actually, it's a little piece of vinyl. The grass was kind of wet that morning, so I put that down, and I knew that I was going to have to cover that little part up. So this is one of the ways that I do use a custom brush. So I just have my background layer here. I'm going to add a new layer, and I'm going to select that layer and make sure that I use my clone stamp tool instead of my brush. Now, make sure that you have all layers here sampled, because I want to be able to sample from the bottom layer and put that on my active layer. I'm also going to take the flow down on here, and I'm going to choose Alt to select first. Actually, I need to get the color. So I'm going to use my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to grab this little green color just in case at first I want to cover some of this up before I use my clone stamp tool. Say that fast 30 times. All right. I am going to go ahead and go back to my clone stamp tool. I'm going to make sure that I go down and pick my grass custom that I have here, and I'm going to select my Alt here. I'm going to grab some of this grass over here, and then all I have to do is just start dabbing some of that color on there. As you can see, I'm able to get in here and cover this grass. Now I'm going to sample over here, maybe put a couple of those in there. You got to kind of make it random to cover it up. I'm going to grab some more of this color over here. And just make sure that you get that edge taken care of. You want to sample close to the area that you're doing. And I may not get it all covered, but the cool thing is that it's just not readily noticeable when I do that. You hear me going click, click, click. So all I am is just touching my stylus on my monitor. So there you go. I've just kind of taken that out using the clone stamp tool and a custom brush. I'll show you the before and after. There's my before, there's my after. So a quick way of creating, defining, and using a custom brush inside of Photoshop. Okay, that's a tutorial for this week. Make sure you subscribe to my page like I always say, and hit that like button if you like this video, and make sure you let everybody know that you can get free Photoshop tutorials here. That's it for this week, and I will see you next week. Thanks a lot.